Okay, so welcome to HTTP Gallery. I'm really excited to be here today. I have something really excited to present to you, and I think you're going to be really excited when you hear what I have to say. First, I want to sort of take you on a trip into the future. I want you to imagine, and this might sound weird at first, but I want you to imagine that this is within our lifetime or our children's lifetime. I want you to imagine the future, and I want you to sort of imagine what our planet's going to look like. Obviously, we're running out of space. And we're running out of resource on this planet. And so I don't think it's too wild to believe that we're going to start to pursue space exploration and look for resources in space. It's the future of our society. And so I want you to think of us in space. Now, there are several problems with being in space. Despite the untold wealth that lies in the limitless galaxies beyond, there are problems. First of all, you might have noticed, especially here in the UK, that birth rates are quite low. Now, if we're going to go into space, that's a lot of space. Literally, it's a large area. And if birth rates are low, we're not going to have very many people out there. So we're going to have larger and larger territories that we're reigning over, but we won't have enough people to police them or to protect them. So our security will be very low. And you have to imagine then that there's no way we could possibly have a military that could protect us all. We're going to have to protect ourselves. And so everyone will be have to have military readiness to protect the resources that we're conquering in this new generation. So everyone needs to fight. And another thing to remember is we're not going to send people out in families or with friends. We're going to send small colonies to different parts of the galaxy. And we're going to group them not based on likeness, but on specialty. So an engineer with a doctor, etc. So keeping in touch with loved ones is going to be a real challenge. And also having a social dynamic or a collaborative dynamic in a group. So I want us to imagine ourselves here today at HTTP as a space colony that's sort of separated from our families. Imagine this gallery takes off into space right now, and you're leaving a lot of precious people behind. And you also have to protect a large part of space. Now, this sounds really silly, but I think that we all know that this is the future. So with that in mind, I want to present to you my idea for the way we'll deal with sort of this social military crisis, and also, I believe it will be a cultural crisis. So there's going to be a sort of an art collaboration component here. But my solution is called WarMail, and what WarMail is, like I said, a military slash mail program that allow you to keep in touch with loved ones, collaborate in a group environment, to compose messages to loved ones, and again, keep military readiness. Now, we're probably going to run into aliens. This is a known probability, and we don't know what their combat readiness is going to be like. So we built sort of a simulation of what I feel the aliens will probably behave as in WarMail, which is right here. Now, I'm going to explain the interface to you guys. It's really quite simple. This is a really elegant solution that we thought was the most intuitive way to mix these two very different roles we might play in space. But you'll notice it looks a lot like asteroids. And that's because that's a great way to organize information. We have these clusters of letters, and I'll show you how to use them in a second. But what you do, and it's very important that everyone understand, is you shoot these clusters, and the letters then separate, and we can then target individual letters. And the whole system's based on low error and on group dynamics. So no decision is made by any one person in this audience or any one person in our space colony. Every decision is made together. This is like a built-in democracy right in the interface. And so to get started, I'm going to show you how to move our ship around, how to steer our ship. And then I think what I'd like to do with you is, I've been on the road a long time, not in space, but in Europe, and I haven't been in touch with my mother. So I thought it might be a nice idea for us to write a little love note to my mother. I miss her dearly, and I hope that you can help me with that, okay? So I'm just going to boot up the mic here, because this is sound responsive. Now, the first thing to understand is that you all have glow sticks. The way to steer our ship is to actually make a gesture like this. Actually, can I have a glow stick? This is an oversight on my part. So I'll show you how to use it. Now, you can see yourselves on screen. You each have a glow stick, and you'll notice that the ship there is, I'm just going to turn the volume down here. Your ship is steering based on your movements. Now, if we all make a circular motion to the right, we all have to do it together. You have to coordinate. You'll notice that our ship moves to the right. If we all go to the left, our ship moves to the left. Now you're actually, from my point of view, very chaotically all waving your arms around. You have to coordinate. There we go. Okay. Great. Spectacular. Okay, so I think have we tried both directions? Now let's go to the other. Yeah, let's go in the other way. And you can watch yourselves in both splendor and error. Great. Okay. So that's how we steer our ship. Now, the next thing we want to do is be able to move around in space, or on screen in this case. And we do that using our voices. I know we have a few musicians in the audience. What I want you to do is, your attention please. What I'm going to do is I'll first demonstrate. The software looks for a certain level of voice that's to sort of engage a thruster. And there are different levels it's looking for to do different things. But just move around the screen. We want to sort of just go like this. And that's how we move. So together, we can, using our arms, our movements with the glow sticks, and our voices, we can move the ship around very easily. So I'd like us all to try together to maybe thrust down to the bottom of the screen now that we've sort of steered our ship in that direction. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. This is the first time I've tried the software with so many people, and luckily I was able to demonstrate the other feature was when you get to a certain threshold of volume, of course, you shoot. And I typically clap to shoot, which we can try out. But let's just try this thruster one more time so that we can get on with sort of writing the message without making too many accidental entries. So let's try that again. I'm just going to raise the volume slowly, and you start. 1, 2, 3, start. Perfect. That's great. All right, so let's try shooting at something. I think that we should maybe go after the first letter that we want, we've started with G accidentally. I'm not sure if that works out for our message. Can anyone think of a G word we could start? Gosh. Golf. It's for my mother. She doesn't play golf. Oh, God. God, I miss you. Yeah. Oh, gorgeous. Yes, that's kind of hard. Let's try God, because I'm looking for fewer letters. Though I like gorgeous. You guys are just starting out, and that would be a very complicated word to write. Okay, so let's go after O, and the letter O is over there on the right. Your right. So we need to steer our ship over to the right. It's right here. Now you'll notice that whenever our ship gets lost, keep the steering up. If you can't find the ship, we'll always refer to Skullbot here. This guy in the center is named Skullbot. Okay, stop. Okay. All right, just turn. You've gone a little too far. Turn down, or I can. Yeah. Here, I'm going to help you out because you're backwards now. All right, let's turn around. And we're going to go after this O. I'm going to make it easy for you, just to start. Come on. There you go. Come on. This is not the way to run a space colony. All right.